All right, so see that part one kind of caused a couple ripples. So let's see what we can drum up with part two. But to get back to what I was saying in part one, uh, there are opportunities out there for multiple different type of businesses, especially the spirits world. There's definitely a ton of opportunities out there, but it depends on who you're working with, their agenda, what are their so-called beliefs and brands and who they actually have contacts with. Uh, but you see, to get back to what I was saying about big brands and why they grow and how you can see these celebrity brands that grow so quickly, it's not because they're just celebrities. It's because they take advantage of the opportunities that honestly a lot of people that these small brands are working with pass up, because they want to stay on this no celebrity, no marketing, no advertising, uh, like just basically spend no money type of approach and only go through just these known, these people that bought their social media platforms, go through them and their customer base. But if you're only going through them, you're talking about a very small segment of population that when you go into the actual liquor stores, you go and talking to actual customers that are buying these bottles from the stores and everything, they have no idea who they are, and they have no intentions of trying to find out who they are. So what ends up happening is the brand has to do the typical tasting at the liquor store. They find, some of these groups to go in. They send a couple bottles, but the groups only have, a smaller list of actual customers that are a part of it, and it just ends up being the brand end up just going on the wayside and getting walked by because no one knows who they are, no one knows what they taste like, and they're and they don't want to put in the effort in order to get the brand out there, get the brand name out there, or the people that are going through, they have this I'm better than you type of attitude, so they don't want to actually go out and connect with the customer and connect with people that have different beliefs than them. And all because your brand is on the shelf doesn't mean it's going to sell. I mean, it can be on the shelves everywhere, but if it's not going to sell, then it's going to be discontinued, and no one's going, you're just going to end up falling by the wayside. So, I mean, people don't have to work with me, but all I'm saying is this: take advantage of the opportunities, have a marketing budget, plan on sending bottles for different events of all sizes, multiple different types of customer base, not just the additive free customer base, not just the social media influencers that only are going to push additive free, or only going to push non-celebrity, only going to push brands that they're getting paid to do, but they really don't have the influence that they think that they do. There's an issue when you have to have 1,000 different influencers that are sitting there trying to say additive free, and then you go into the actual liquor store and you're talking to an actual customer base. No one knows what the fuck you're talking about. Like, they have no clue. They go and they get their Patron, or they get their Don Julio, or they get their Casamigos, or 818, or Terramana. Why? Because these brands have put the marketing dollars out there to be able to be behind the brand, get the people to have a brand recognition, and they also put it in places where people are actually drinking. And they put it in events where people are actually drinking and are actual buyers. It does not matter what your collection is, does not matter who you are in terms of a social media presence. It matters if you actually have people that are going to buy your product. If you don't have people that are going to buy your product, then you can be a nice social media brand, and if that's your goal, then great. If your goal is to only produce, say, 10,000 bottles or whatever, and to sell $10,000, 10,000 bottles at $200 a pop, and you produce a profit that you want, then great. But if your goal is to have a brand that is actually that's nationally recognized, and that people are going to forget about 818 over, or they're going to forget about Patron or Don Julio over, I think you got to go through some different avenues and take advantage of some actual opportunities that are going to get your name out there. It's just the facts. So let's see what bigger a rift this can cause now, and see if I get more calls and texts and everything about this, or at least messages. But we'll see. This is I'm gonna be talking about this more. Why not? Because I want to see small brands grow, and I want to actually see them be able to be a household name, as opposed to just a name that everyone talks about on social media, or they have to do, manipulation in order to become a quote unquote Pappy type level of success, and be able to actually be known for being a quality tequila brand that people are going to want to drink. The average customer is going to want to drink, and the average customer actually knows about, as opposed to just walking by walking by them on the shelf because they, you can be like, hey, this social media presence, says this, or they say that, or they praise it this way. Well, it doesn't matter unless you have everyone going in there and buying these bottles, which you don't. Average everyday person, they're just like, whatever, bro. So I'm gonna continue to work with the average everyday person, do my low-level promoter things, where we're actually working with people that are gonna actually drink and actually want to know about the bottle, as opposed to trying to be one of these 500 million, 2 million follower influencers. I'd rather use my money to buy bottles and to buy spirits that I enjoy, and I can drink with friends, and I can drink at my events with different people, than to spend it on a follower account. So we're gonna keep going down this road. Let's go. Let's talk about the industry. See y'all soon.